My teacher used to say that India is a developing nation with almost 40% of people are below poverty line, and India has thousands of crores of loans taken from World Bank. But then I had a thought in mind, why can't we print money and distribute to everyone? No loan, no poverty. So good, right? Toastmasters and friends. By then I had a misconception that a country's currency is backed by the amount of gold it has. But I was wrong. Practically speaking, when the prices of gold has reached such an exorbitant price, it's almost impossible to back your currency with gold. So, any country can print as much money as they want without backing their currency with gold. So, to be candid, I'm not an economics freak or an economics student, but still I dare to speak about money and finance in front of so many entrepreneurs and MBA graduates today. Never mind. General purpose of my speech is to enlighten why countries cannot print money recklessly. And I specifically want to speak about the relationship between money and inflation and what are the factors that we need to consider before printing money. So let's move on. So as I said before, every country has the freedom to print money. In fact, during recessionary times, countries do resort to printing money. However, it is considered extremely dangerous because printing money will lead to hyperinflation. I think many of the people over here might be aware of the financial crisis of Zimbabwe. In order to overcome the financial burden and lift their infrastructure, Zimbabwe printed trillions of dollars around 5 years back, because of which they ended up in hyperinflation. Sadly, you get 1 million Zimbabwe dollar for just $5 in Amazon.com. So that was the state of Zimbabwe. That was the level of hyperinflation that Zimbabwe ended up in. So today, let's learn what influences the inflation by considering two factors which influences it. The first one, the relationship between demand and price. So let me try to explain the repercussions of infusing too much money into the system with a simple example. Consider a situation, just assuming that Indian government is sorry for all its misdeeds, corruption, incompetence, and decides to credit 10 lakh rupees into everyone's savings account. So if you don't have a savings account, minister will come to your home, knock your door, and hand over the cash. So what would you do? Everyone thinks that they have become super rich. Everyone will get a mild heart attack, I know, but once you overcome it, you will think that you have become super rich and you start spending crazily. So I know what I would do. I would rush to a Royal Enfield showroom and buy a bullet for me. The thing is, it's not just me who rushed to the Royal Enfield now. There are many other people who were like me, who had dreams of getting a bullet but could not get it. Now everyone has money, everyone rushes to the showroom. Now this creates a problem. What would showroom do? Will they increase their price, or will they keep it steady and run out of bullets and do not supply the bullets to everyone? So the obvious decision would be increasing the prices, because there is a lot of demand for the product but there is no enough supply. So we can generalize this too for almost all the products. When a lot of money is infused into the system, people will start spending it on different commodities, but there won't be enough supply, because it is very difficult to increase the supply in a short period of time. This will lead to inflation. So let's move on to the second factor which influences the inflation. That is the supply and price relationship. Well, let's go back to the same example. In the previous example, our beloved friend Hari Krishna may say that Royal Enfield may increase their production in order to keep the prices of bullets steady. Let's evaluate it. In order for the price of bullet to remain steady, Royal Enfield has to do two things. One, increase the capacity in a short period of time. Otherwise, people will be ready to pay high in order to get the product, right? So the second is maintain the cost per unit same, so that the retailers will not hike the price of the products. Coming to the production, in almost all the fields, it is technically challenging and it's almost non-feasible to increase the production in a short period of time because of the constraints like capacity constraints, machinery, factory, etc. Coming to the cost per unit, this cost per unit is dependent on a lot of factors like manpower, wages, dependency on other companies. For example, Royal Enfield might be dependent on a lot of small companies for body parts. And even these companies will be in the same pressure of increasing the production in a short period of time, also maintaining the cost per unit. So the chances of prices of these body parts to go high are high. Also, when you want to increase the capacity or when you want to increase the production, you need a lot of manpower. So this will lead to again increase in the wages per hour because now there is a lot of demand for the manpower in the market. Companies will be willing to pay high for the people to make them work for them. So collectively, all these factors will lead to increase in the cost per unit when you want to increase the capacity in a short period of time. So friends, we learned that when a huge money is infused into a system, there are high chances that we'll end up in inflation. So now, does this mean we cannot infuse money into the system at all? Does this mean we cannot print money? No, we can, but we have to be very careful. So you might ask me a question. Then how to decide what is the quantity of money that we need to print? Normally, it is the responsibility of central government of a nation. For example, in case of India, it is the task of RBI to measure the demand of money in the economy and then print money. So RBI considers following factors before printing money. First, growth rate of the economy. And expanding our economy means there is a lot of demand for money for various investments. Second factor, replacement of the old currencies and mutilated currencies. And third factor, inflation. As I said before, when there is too much of money in the system, which means a lot of money in hands of people, which will lead to inflation, as I said before. So RBI has to carefully calculate the amount of money so that the purchasing power of the money is not depreciated. So Toastmasters and guests, today we learned that printing too much of money may seem like a good idea, but it's not. Because when we say we want more money, it's like we're saying we want more wealth. But the thing is, when this wealth will not help in increasing the commodities which are present in the world, since same number of people are chasing the same number of commodities in the world, we are no more wealthy. Over to you.